So I'm doing some urban creek fishing. This creek is Fern Creek, and it's, goes around the Fern Creek area on the outskirts of Louisville, out towards Gene Snyder. And in this creek, I grew up on it. There is only one pool in this entire creek that has bass. I mean, there might be a couple down through the other pools that have swam downstream, but when I was a kid, like 13 or 14, there was no bass in it. There was bluegill and sunfish, and there was catfish, and they used to be back here, because that all used to be a lake back there. That was a wetlands that MSD had made. But when I was like 13, 14, 15, the whole end of the dam washed out, and you can see it, and they never fixed it. And so, all that part of the creek got shallow. The only fish you could catch in here were sunfish and catfish, but then the catfish all moved downstream whenever the creek would flood. So when I was like 13, we'd catch all these sunfish, and I started putting largemouth in it, in this pool. In this big pool where the road bridge goes over, and they bred, and so ever since then, it's had bass in it. It's got a bunch of bass in it. I came down here over the summer and caught like 10, 12 bass, all right around 14, 15 inches. And then there's two really big ones in here that are like 3 pounds, maybe 3.5 pounds. And I hooked one of them on my bluegill pole and tried to flip it up the bank. And of course it broke the line because I'm a dumbass. But the next place you'll find fish on this creek at all is if you follow it 2 miles down or so. It goes under Bardstown Road, and then it dumps in to Wildwood Country Club's first pond. And so right under the Bardstown Road bridge is where the mouth of the pond is. And sometimes you can sneak down there and fish because there's a bunch of fish in that pond. But, Wildwood is pretty private. They're pretty good at kicking you off their property. So yeah, just urban fishing, catching some little bass. There you go, they're progressively getting bigger. This dude is significantly bigger than the last one, but he's still probably 11 inches. He's not even legal keeper size, but I mean, they're fun. They are fun to catch. There he goes. But so yeah, when I say I have a weedless Ned rig, what I mean by that is, hang on, I'll show you. See how there's a bend in that hook? Normal Ned rigs have a straight hook, and the hook is exposed. So when you're dragging them through water, they get hung up all the time. But when you have a bend like that, you can hook them like a Texas rig, like a EWG. And I'll show you. See, you bring it up like that, and then you stick the tip of the hook down inside the plastic, and it won't snag on nothing. I got another one, small, not too big. I'm trying to hold my phone and not drop anything into the water. Well, actually, he's probably the same size or bigger than the last one. They're fat, dude. They're pretty freaking healthy for being in this creek, man. Like, look at their tummies. Like, they've been eating. They're healthy. You know, he's another 10-incher, 11-incher. Not a keeper, but super freaking fun to catch, man.